becoming a thing. There's one of the males, yes. That's one of the mamas, and she's got 3 kittens running around here. And this morning, the wife seen yet another kitten. And this one, this little guy right here, yes, he's limping on his back foot. He looks okay, but she let him, he or she let him pick her up. So we're going to take him to the ARL, and they can hopefully, you know, do whatever they need to do to look after him. I mean, we actually do not have the means. See, I don't know what the little gray and white over there, she came over, she's been over here the last 4 days. She brought her kittens over from the house across the street, and I don't know where they're hiding. They're hiding somewhere. So, in fact, Jen's brother's over there, so we're gonna have to go over and talk to him a minute. All right. Well, here it is Sunday afternoon, about 4 o'clock, and once again, we got one of our little neighborhood stray cats that's got a problem. We're going to run them up to the ARL's pet center. They have a pet help center that's open 7 days a week. It closes at 6 o'clock, so we got a couple hours to get them up there. This one's a little bit older boy from one of the gray cats over here. We think that, you know, that mama over there might be the mama, because the other gray cat's a little bit bigger. And you know, let's see, this little feller here, he just got no energy whatsoever. The wife said she ain't seen him for 2 days. He just came in. She won't eat. That's the little mama that's got kittens that are about the size of her hand. And you know, what do you do?
All right, just eat. Here. Go and get yours.
Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6?
Tear the fucking apart.
Yeah. All kinds of them.
The hell's that rock in the grass?
That's the brick I had out there last night for the fireworks. Yeah, here you go, quicker. We gotta look outside. We have little kittens there, big Tom there, younger Tom over there, mama, gray and white mama, that's one of her kittens. Another mama cat there, 2 of her older kittens out there, another gray cat there. And there's another kitten out here somewhere. I don't see it though. There is a lot of kitty cats out in my yard. Isn't that right, Banky? There's all kinds of cats out there. This is all them neighbor cats from across the street. Yes, it is. Try and get this figured out here so I can see. Yeah, okay, little guy. We don't know, but we can see. Looks like there's some tears, something on your eye. We don't know if you got into something or if something got to him. I don't see any, there's no obvious wounds or nothing there. And, well, geez, you know, what do you do? Like I said, well, we're going to take him to the ARL and do what we can do. That's all we can do. Well, I was out working. The wife called, said that one of the neighbor cats is sick. And so we're going to go take him to the ARL. Yes, you're not looking so hot, are you? Yes, you are. Yeah, we're gonna go get you some help, hopefully. Yeah, this is the older Tom. He's been hanging around. He usually comes in late in the afternoon or evening to eat, but we ain't seen him for 2 days, and now he's got something coming out of his eyes, and off to the ARL we're gonna go.
Yeah, so that's a collection of videos I've taken over the past 5-6 months. The truth is, there's still 8 or 9 of these things running around, and others were in the neighborhood but come and go. The first one got stung in the face, we think, because he was a kitten, and the whole side of his face blew up. We took him to ARL. The black one was a bad fit. We took that one to the ARL. And the first kitten was one of the gray kittens, the gray cat's kittens. The black one was the gray and white one out here, who's got two other kittens about that size, are getting bigger now and starting to eat wet food. So I think she's pregnant again. I think I've said that in a number of videos. The third cat was one of the year and a half old gray kit. They were kittens last year, and now that they're adults, and I don't remember if that was female or male, but it's definitely not feeling well because normally they wouldn't let you get close enough to touch them, let alone pick them up, put them in a carrier. And then the fourth one was the black and white older Tom, and he was definitely having a problem, and we don't know. See, there's about 5. There at the point of the black and white getting before he got caught, there was 5 males for sure that I know of for sure, and 2 of them are very aggressive, and I did another series of videos that will come after this one that's dealing with, because that's our first one we managed to catch, and we're going to do a trap meter release program to the ARL. That's one of those things. When we took these cats down to the ARL in Iowa, they no longer euthanize pets or strays at all. They do not do that here, at least not in the county I live in, and the ARL does not do it. So they inherit these cats indefinitely. They've got a couple years ago when we adopted Frankie, they had over 1,000 cats there, and they have an entire building set aside for them. They also have a barn program, so cats that cannot be peopleized, can't be adopted by people, can be adopted by farm families who just want wild cats on their property to help keep mice and other critters down. So that's an excellent program for them. The downside with taking the cats in, you acknowledge that they're strays, which means you're absolved in any kind of financial responsibility or any control whatsoever. Once you give it to them, that's the ARL's property to deal with whatever and however they feel best. So they also won't tell you. My wife's a bit upset that she has no idea what happened to them. She thinks that they should have called her and let her know, whether the cat's okay or not. And I told her, I said, it's best that they don't. And they don't want to deal with the drama and the excess that goes with it. Some of these cats can't be saved, and it's more humane to put them to sleep. And there's a big argument. There's a lot of people. I'm one of those people, and I'm terrible about that. When my cats get older, and I won't purposely take my cat in to have him put down. I won't do that. My cat or my pet is going to die of old age in the house, unless it's into something terribly, terribly painful, that at that point it's more about pity and not about being humane, right? And it's more about trying to do the right thing. But I don't believe I believe when I want to die of old age, I want to die in my house. Okay, it is what it is. But, you don't have a lot of money. Your options are very limited. And there are also school of thought out there. People say, well, if you can't afford to take care of your pets, you shouldn't have pets. Well, that's easier said than done. A lot of times these pets will make you their pets. We've got a couple here that adopted us. And there's a couple of these strays out there that the wife's getting attached to and are, I don't know, they're going to be here until they're no longer here. It's just like, I can't emphasize in my next video, I took a picture of the backyard of the lady's house with the food cans everywhere. These cats are dependent on humans for food, because that's the entire generations of cats were raised, strays, were born and raised or grew up with an older lady across the street feeding them. She put out bowls and bowls, because there were 7 or 8 bowls laying around out there that she was putting out dry food in and some water, and then there's tin cans everywhere. And I'm not exaggerating. The next video series of videos back to it. So once again, I don't know why. I just feel the need to share this stuff, put it out there, because I just do. It's not about trying to be. I don't know why. I don't know why. I'm not trying to get fame or fortune, because that ain't ever going to happen. That ain't ever going to happen. Who does that? I mean, there's plenty pleasant cat videos out there than people with much better editing skill than I that don't want to sit here and blabber their mouth like I am. But at the end of the day, we're going to do what we can do and try to help as best we can. The wife and I are committed to looking after this colony as best we can. And I told the wife, I said, there'll come some times, will be weeks when my job is not a guaranteed 40-hour week. There's many weeks where I'll get overtime, but then that's interspaced by several weeks of, if I'm lucky, if I hit 30. We still have to pay our light bill. We still have to pay our utilities. We still have to, at some point we'll decide it'll be do we buy food for us or for them? And I'm going to say it'll be for them because I suppose we can go to the food pantry in a pinch. I try to keep that in mind. She gives me a lot of crap sometimes. I stockpile stuff. I got a freezer full of frozen stuff. I got stuff in the cabinet, and I rotate things out. And I told her, I says, you don't think about that till the week when we don't have that $200 grocery bill. Because I don't know about anybody else. It's just me, her, and a bunch of cats, and we're spending on average $200 a week at the grocery store. I mean, between all the sundries and other materials you need, plus about, like I said, right now about $40 a week in groceries for cat food, because they're dependent on it. You can't wing them off of it. They're not going to go out and learn. They'll hunt and catch birds, but for the most part, most of these, like the older gray mama cat and some of these others, they don't even acknowledge the birds and stuff out there. Every now and then they come running up with a mouse they caught in the weeds or something, but some of the others aggressively go after. They're out there eating birds left and right. Our bird feeder's become a feeder of its own in some aspects. The majority of these poor critters are dependent on people because that's what happens. So what happens when you feed strays. There's some kind of moral lesson there, and I'm not going to try to teach it. You got to do what you think, right? The wild animals are wild for a reason, including what we think as domestic animals that become wild. Wild dogs are dangerous because they have learned to hunt and to view anything as prey or as something to stay away from. Cats are no different. Cats are what they are. So if you treat these local stray cats like pets, then they become dependent on you. So it's one thing to have one or two outdoor strays that you're looking after. That's a great thing. But it's another thing when suddenly there's a dozen of them and more. There's not enough here to warrant the ARL or the animal control coming in and doing something. Because they've said that. There's just not enough. But yet there's enough to overwhelm me personally. I'm just trying to do what I can do. Do the right thing because just the wife and I and our kids have grown up and moved away and a long way from here, and she has her own family and her own worries. She don't give a right. That's another set of issues. Nobody cares about that except us. Yeah, I guess I pretty much spilled my beans, splintered my bean, got shit off my shoulder. I guess. Excuse the language. God. Doing the right thing, right?